Hello, everybody. My name is Thomas Turner, and today I will be giving my persuasive speech on how we can work to end world poverty. Over 3 billion people, nearly half the world's population, live in poverty. Poverty is defined by living on $2.50 every day. Half of that 3 billion, so nearly 1/4 of the population, lives in extreme poverty, which means they live off of $1.25 or less every single day. Poverty could have been eradicated years ago, but our lack of empathy and work towards ending it has prevented that from happening. Myself and my family are one of many families that fall just right above the line for poverty, and I hope that one day everyone in this world can get what they need to live a reasonable life and plan to work for that change. Many believe we cannot end poverty, but according to some scientists, such as Jeffrey Sachs, we could end poverty in only 20 years. It would only take an annual budget of $175 billion to end poverty in 20 years. This may sound like a lot, but it really is not. The United States alone could end poverty using only 5% of its total budget every year. Every year they have a budget of about $3.4 trillion, more than enough necessary. We spend nearly $1 trillion of that yearly budget just on the military, but we claim to be a nation that frowns upon war, and a simple redirection of these funds could end poverty. You could cut out not even 20% of the military funding and dramatically make leaps and bounds to ending poverty in the world. Some people believe that ending poverty would cut into our economy as Americans, but they're quite wrong about that. Many Americans hope for tax cuts that will help them out each year when tax time comes around, but they are only hurting the world as a whole. Removing Bush-era tax cuts would cost individuals just a small amount in the scale of things, but would mainly hit the pockets of the wealthy, those that make over $250,000 a year. It would generate nearly $370 billion each year by removing these tax cuts, and that is nearly twice as much needed to end poverty in 20 years. So by removing these tax cuts, we could hypothetically end poverty in 10 years. Removing tax cuts would not hurt individuals like you and I, as we believe, or as many believe, and it would actually make America a humanitarian superpower and create positive relations with the rest of the world, making this the sought after country to relate with and live in. There are many ways you as an individual can help to end poverty in the whole world, but you have to act. You cannot just speak on it. You do not need to give all your money away and donate to charities, as though this does help. Simply make a personal dedication to helping those who are less fortunate, whether that be in your community or halfway around the world. Helping one person could change the entire world if we all work to do that. If you stay active in your government and work to push reform that can help end wasteful spending and grow the funds accessible for spending on the ending of poverty, you can change the world. A few things that you could work to change are raising the minimum wage, writing letters to your congressmen and congresswomen to make those things happen, end tax cuts, because you're only giving up a few dollars to save hundreds of people in the world. You want to add funding to useful programs rather than flushing money away into military when we're not even a military type country. We could work to end student debt, help families with food stamps and WIC and things like that. Just general funding programs that help those that are less fortunate could really change the way people live in this world. If we act and take initiative to end poverty, we can move forward and we never have to look back at where we are. In the past 20 years, or from the 1980s until now, we've nearly cut poverty in half. If we continue at that pace, by 2030, we could be at half the number we are now. But that should be not our goal to cut it in half, but to end it altogether. Many people believe that poverty is a problem that can never be solved and one that has always been here, but they are wrong. If we could begin to prioritize our spending as a nation and stop caring only for personal gain, we can end poverty. If we all make a change within ourselves to help our neighbors and care of those around us, we can create a better world for ourselves and future generations to come. Thank you.